We're here to solve the smash sums by Murat Can Tonta that's called Doppel. That's because each of the clues off the diagonals are a double of each other. 1 times 2 is 2, 6 times 2 is 12, 7 times 2 is 14, 1 times 2 is 2, and 6 times 2 is 12. It's also a play on the fact another name on some particularly German solving sites for this style is Doppelblock, double block. There are two black cells replacing each row. So in this case, we have a total sum up to 15. And so a clue like a 14 is going to have a single digit missing on the extremes. So one of these cells will be a black square and maybe a 1 is here. One of these will be a black square and a 1. But one thing we'll know at the start is that all three of these cells have to be within a sum. A 12 is going to need to be at least 5 plus 4 plus 3, so take at least 3 cells in the middle. So the middle set of a 12 sum will always be a digit, and we can say the same actually for this 12 column. So this 12 clue here marks this in, this 12 marks in this, but now that we still have to get at least 3 across, this is a space that can also be marked in white. And I think marking these 12s is a start for this puzzle because we get a case where this one clue has only one space left for 2 cells to be shaded that have 1 between. The 1 is going to go in the middle of those. This 2 has these 2 options for where it goes, but we have this marked in. If we come now to the 6th clue, the 6th clue has only one way to shade in cells. We can't shade 2 together, so we're going to have to shade these that are far apart. And 1, 2, 3 are going to be in those spaces with 4, 5 on the extremes. We still have a case where we don't know what's next for the 2, but we can now think about this 1. The 1 is going to have one of these shaded in, but not these. If this were shaded, you can't put another 1 in the space, so this is shaded. We get a 1 here. That now means for this 2 clue, this shaded cell has to take this shaded cell, put a 2 in here. This 12 now comes across, and it could take either of these, but we know this for sure. We've got to get a valid set of shaded cells for the 7 column. There's only one cell I can take if I don't go across this middle, so I have to come across this middle, mark this in. We're going to have 2 and 4 to finish out this space with 3, 5 to go. We get a 2 in here, a 1, 3 to go. Remember, the 14 can't have a 1 on the inside, so the 3 has to be above and the 1 below to make this valid. That means this 12 is going to have a 3 left over and a 4, 5 coming across to get to a valid sum. So we can mark these in. Before I run too fast, the 14 has a 4-digit sum in it, so this has to be the 5. Put that in. We get a 1 over here. We've got a 2, 3 left to go in this space. The 6 has to get to a valid sum, and that can't be from taking this cell because we can't put a 6 in the grid. It's got to be from taking this, and that's going to force the minimums for both of these. 4 plus 2 is the way that goes. Any other digit wouldn't work. We have not too much left to go. We've got a 2, 4 in this cell. I'm just seeing, actually, let's get the last sum. So the 12 clue we haven't used in this column, it's going to need to take at least 3 cells, and this is the only one that works, which puts in a 5 and 4, and now we're going to get cascade of digits. We need to get the 1, 2 here. This is a 4, 5 to finish this. The top row needs a 3 and a 5. We have 1, 3, 4 to place here. The 1 and 4 are already around that, so this is how that goes. This is the last place a 3 can go. This is 2 and 1 to finish the column, puts in a 4, puts in a 1, puts in a 2, and we have to shade one more cell and put in this digit. And we finish the grid. So I'll just shade these in as we talk through it. So a lot of this came from just thinking about how these larger clues force empty cells. The 14 has a lot to do at the start, but the 12 shades this as empty, shades these as empty. That now forces the 1, which moves in a 2, which moves in this one, and etc. So this is another good exercise of thinking about how the shadings work for sums. It's a good medium difficulty puzzle and definitely a great example of Murat's construction style. So thank Murat for the puzzle, and we'll see you again soon.